All right, hello and welcome to the San Jose State Weekly Football Press Conference. Spartans return to action following their second bye of the year, and they'll get back to work at UNLV this weekend on Saturday, a 1 o'clock kickoff. The pregame show can be heard on 9:10 a.m. Real Talk on the Spartan Radio Network beginning at 12:30 Pacific Time. Game will also be televised on AT&T Sportsnet as well. A couple announcements before we bring up Coach Brennan. The final regular season game of the year for San Jose State at home against Fresno State now has a time, a 7:30 kickoff time on Saturday the 30th, and also will be televised on ESPN2. So the final game of the year, 7:30 against Fresno State from SEFCU Stadium, and on ESPN2, 408-924-7589 or sjsuspartans.com for the rivalry game tickets on the final game of the year. Also, the Coach Brennan Show, the next 2 weeks, starting tomorrow, will be on Tuesday from the Hookey Lao. The regular scheduled show usually on Wednesday, but this week, Tuesday to adjust for the men's basketball home schedule, and for Thanksgiving next week on Tuesday as well. All right, I think that's it. All the items are done. Now we'll bring up San Jose State head coach Brent Brennan.
All right, thank you for coming. We are coming off a bye week, which came at a really good time for us. Had a tough battle with University of Hawaii. Congrats to them. Lost by 2 points on the road. I thought our kids battled. Really hard-fought game across the board in all three phases, and we didn't get it done. So that was disappointing. The bye week came at a good time for us to regroup. Continue to develop the young players on this team that seem to be playing a lot of football for us right now and making a significant impact. And then, then did some recruiting, and now we're on to UNLV. This is a good-looking UNLV team. I feel like we are similar, us and them. They've got a really good group in their offensive front. It's mature. They've played a lot of football. Their quarterback has been accurate. And, I know I'm going to mess up his name, but Oblad, I think I got it right. But I really like how he plays. I think his kid's going to be a really good player. And then, their skill positions are scary. I remember recruiting Randall Grimes when I was at Oregon State. Big athletic kid out of Vegas, and just can make all kinds of plays. And then, both their other players, Woods and Collins, are both, make plays and give you enough challenges, in the slot and outside. So it's going to be a great challenge for our defensive football team. In terms of their defense, I really think that, they have some length. They're really active up front. So I think the safeties are part of the strength of this team. Let's see, my guy, 16, Javin White, just length, speed, makes all kinds of plays. This is going to be another battle for us. I think every game we play is a battle, and we're going on the road. It's going to be senior night and the last game in Sam Boyd Stadium. So, it's going to be obviously a really tough game, and we're excited to do the work this week and go on the road and play.
Hey, Coach. Good to see you back from the bye week.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
Yeah. So UNLV, with Oblad being my primary quarterback earlier this year, they're playing multiple QBs. So how have you guys been preparing for that situation? That's
always a tough deal when people have played, multiple QBs, and so that's just something that you have to try and prepare for. Just how much film can you get? We've had a lot of that this year. We've had it against, half of our opponents. It doesn't matter if it was Air Force or New Mexico or even last week or 2 weeks ago at Hawaii. Seems like every week we've had to prepare for multiple quarterbacks, which is challenging, which is really challenging. And obviously, their guys all have a little bit different skill set. So you try and get your defense to see as much as they can, film on everybody that might play, and then also put together a game plan that has a chance to defend both people.
Coach, Dejon Packer has one of his best games of the season at Hawaii. How much emphasis do you put on continuing to see the run game succeed?
Well, that's been a huge point of emphasis for us all season, and it was nice to see Packer get going the way he did against Hawaii. He seems to be playing really good football right now, which I'm excited about. He's a senior. He's worked really hard. He's been through a lot with our program. So I'm really encouraged by what Pack did last week. And, I really like that running back group. We've got a couple young players that have pushed in the mix there and made that really exciting. So I think that thing is going to continue to be by committee, but it's exciting because Packer and Tyler Nevins are both bigger backs. They give you a little bit more of a physical downhill style. So we're excited about both those guys.
Coach, we're going to go to the phone lines now. Mark Anderson from the Las Vegas Review-Journal is on the line. Mark, one question for Coach.
Yeah, you mentioned about this being the last game in San Floyd. You're also upgrading your facilities similar to what UNLV is doing. Just how valuable do you think that is to what you want to accomplish there?
Oh, I think facilities are critical. I think they're critical in terms of the space and how you use it in terms of coaching and teaching your team. And then I think it's obviously a huge piece in the recruiting process. And, we've seen over time the impact on facilities, on places, all over our conference. And obviously UNLV has a beautiful facility that, I know Tony put in a lot of work and everyone there to get that done. And it looks fantastic. I haven't seen it in person, but it looks really nice online. That for us is a huge step. The generation that we are recruiting, they buy with their eyes. So they're always looking for, when they come to a place, they want to know, how does the space feel that they're going to be living in? How does the space look? How, I think in some degree the quality of the facilities lets them know how well they're going to be taken care of as a player in the program. So it's a huge thing for us, and we're excited for them to start digging out the east side of our stadium, and that's going to happen pretty soon. So pretty exciting times here.
Hi, Coach. Ryan Gundersen, our quarterback coach, got the award nominated for the Broyles Award. Could you speak to his impact on the staff and his impact with the players in the quarterback room?
Well, I think it was awesome for us to nominate Gundy for that award. I don't know anybody that calls him Ryan or Gundersen. He's like Prince or Madonna. He's got one name, Gundy. He's done a fantastic job with our quarterback position. I think there's lots of things that make Gundy a good coach. He does have a great sense of humor, and he's pretty clever, so that keeps the staff in our meetings entertaining. But also with the guys that he's coaching, I think they will tell you that he's extremely demanding, and he's really a perfectionist in some ways. And I think when they're young players, that drives them crazy. But as they grow and they start to see the benefit of that consistent, repetition and that consistent, coaching and accountability, they can develop into something really special, which is what has happened to Josh. So we're very lucky to have Coach Gundersen here. I've known him 10 years. I've never called him Coach Gundersen, but.
Hey, speaking of the offense, Coach, this season alone, you guys only gave up 10 sacks to 408 pass attempts. How much has the line improved from this year to last season?
Well, I think Coach Bernardi's done a great job with those guys, and then also you got to credit those players, right? They worked extremely hard this offseason. I think that, and there's lots of people that are involved in our pass protection, right? Our running backs, our tight ends, and then obviously our O-line and our quarterback. So I think, those guys have worked really hard at it, and I think it speaks a little bit to being here for our third year as a coaching staff and having some continuity, with the staff and with the scheme. We're in the second year with Coach McGivern and his scheme, and so I think when you combine all those things with the hard work of the players and the effort they put into the preparation, it's been a really positive result.
Coach, you spoke earlier on dealing with two quarterback system, and could you just speak on the diversity of the offenses that you face week in, week out, and what the defensive staff has to do to prepare for an offense as different as San Diego State to Hawaii to now UNLV?
Yeah. I think that's one of the reasons I love this conference. I think the Mountain West Conference is as challenging of a conference as you can play in the country because of the diversity of what people run, right? Doesn't matter if you're playing Air Force or Wyoming or San Diego State or Boise. There's such variety, and every week it's an incredible challenge defensively to get your guys ready to see it. How many times can they see it? Last week we went on the road, or 2 weeks ago we're playing Hawaii, and they can hurt you every which way throwing the football, and then they also demonstrated they could run the ball out of 10 personnel and some of that stuff. So there's just every week it's an incredible challenge in this conference to defend the people that are here. Everybody's well coached. Everybody has good players, and just trying to put together a game plan for each team is incredibly challenging.
Coach, we're going to go back to the phones now. Mark, one more question for Coach.
Yeah, I'm going to kind of go back to what you before. As far as the stadium itself, Are there long-term plans as far as improving the stadium?
At San Jose State?
Right.
Well, the new facility is going to be part of the stadium, so
Right.
that east side is going to get a significant upgrade when the whole thing is completed. But in terms of the other pieces, not yet.
Okay. Is it something you would like to?
Oh, is it something I would like to do?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. I think anytime you can upgrade your facilities, you're just making an investment in the future of your athletic department. So it doesn't matter if that's a new, we've had an incredible growth here in our facilities in the time that I've been here. We've added a new softball stadium. We've added, a new golf facility. We have beach tennis, or we have tennis courts. We have beach volleyball. There's been a lot of really amazing stuff that has happened in 3 years here, from a lot of hard work, from people raising money to some really generous donations. So to me, it's an incredible time to be at San Jose State with just what's happening in the Silicon Valley and with our university, and then also with people getting excited about supporting our institution. So if people are fired up to redo the stadium, I'm ready.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Coach, Trey Walker and Bailey Gaither are kind of your headliners at the wide receiver position, but can you talk about how Isaiah Hamilton has really come on strong for you?
Well, shoot, I'm excited about all those young wideouts. It's a really fun group of players. They work extremely hard. It's been exciting to see them grow. Obviously, Bailey and Trey get a lot of the attention, but Ham has been incredibly productive in the slot, and we've seen a lot of good work from Andre Crump, who's a true freshman. We've seen some pass catching and running around by Isaiah Holiness. Jaquan Blackwell's made plays. So I'm really excited about the skill and what they've been doing. I think it's a fun group to watch. And I think when they play with Josh Love, they have to know that because he does a nice job distributing the ball and playing his progression, and everyone has a chance to catch the ball. Or everyone has a chance to come out of a game with a couple catches or a catch. So that part of it, and then on top of that, we're not even talking about the production of the tight end position. So we throw the ball to all those guys. So I love Ham. He's a great young player. He's, like I say, he's a redshirt freshman. But then there's a lot of those other guys that are young too that continue to contribute. So it's pretty exciting.
Hey, Coach, this season you guys have 68 points off the turnovers. How's that led to the success this season, and plus the plus 13 margin as well, which is second in the nation?
Well, I think turnover margin is such an important statistic, and it's been a huge point of emphasis for us, for the last 2 years. And, I think that's one of those things that gives you a chance to either be in ball games or to win ball games if you can find a way to, steal possession. So, takeaways and ball security is everybody's responsibility on the team. It doesn't matter if you're a place kicker, if you're a starting tailback, or if you're a defensive lineman. Everyone has to be on point with that stuff.
Mark, back to the phones. Another question for Coach?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
That's too bad. I was hoping you had some more for me to, some more facility upgrades. I was going to get really excited about that.
That's kind of the dominant story this week around here with Sandboy Stadium. So.
Well, I'm sure, and it's really been a dominant topic all over our conference, right? I mean,
it has been.
Yeah, everybody's building new stuff. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that does it for this week's press conference. Once again, San Jose State on the road to take on UNLV, the Rebels, at Sam Boyd Stadium on Saturday at 1 o'clock. It'll also be televised on AT&T Sportsnet, and you can hear the call on 9:10 a.m. Real Talk on the Spartan Radio Network beginning at 12:30. And one more reminder, 7:30 kickoff now for the finale of the regular season inside CEFCU Stadium on Saturday, the 30th of November. It'll also be televised on ESPN2 for the Fresno State game. Tickets available, as always, 408-924-7589 or SJSU Spartans.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.